Hey everybody, welcome to May's Cherry on Top Hop. We're doing flowers today, and I am working with all of these gorgeous new colors from Catherine Pooler. I have Cotton Candy, Frosted, Lemon Chiffon, and Creamsicle. I am also working with an antique rose layering die from Honeybee Stamps. I chose this die, or this stamp, because it's still in stock over in the shop, which is insanity to me because it's such a beautiful die or stamp. And apparently my brain's going to replace the word die for stamp, and we're going to be doing this through the entire video. I'm going to try really hard not to make that a thing. I am using the outline stamp. I'm stamping that in my favorite black ink, British Monroe's Detail Raven black ink. I'm going to stamp that twice. And then this stamp set comes with layers and layers of color. So you could use a coordinating like an ombre set of colors to add to the to make it very, very layered. Or you can do what I'm going to do, which is I'm going to use just a couple of the layers, and I'm going to get some difference in shading and color by stamping some of the layers once and stamping some of the layers twice. So the first layer I'm going to go ahead and stamp once, and I'm going to use this Creamsicle color. I love this Creamsicle color. It's like the most perfect peachy orangey color, and you guys know how much I love the peach. It's gonna look really dark, but then it kind of as with all Catherine Pooler inks, it dries back quite a bit, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So the next layer I'm going to stamp twice, but in the same stamp color. And that's going to continue to give me so I'm going to get some variations in color, but you can have way, way more variations. I think there are 3 or 4 different layers. So if you're using, like a light orange and then a little bit darker and then a little bit darker and then a little bit darker, you can have lots of color variation in this stamp set. I'm choosing to go with just a little bit of color variation, because I wanted something that was a little bit more whimsical and not quite as detailed. That being said, you could make these very detailed and beautiful. I went ahead and stamped and die cut loads and loads of flowers. So I have a whole bunch in all the different colors. Then I did the same thing with the little buds, and also with the little leaf pieces that are included in that stamp set. They all have different layers to them, and again, I didn't do every layer for every stamp. I just did 1 or 2 using that color on color idea to get this kind of whimsical watercolory, a little bit of difference but not a lot of different type of contrast. And I love how these turned out. I chose these ink colors because they were brand new, and I was super, super wanting to use them and play with them, but I also chose them because I knew that they would match Lawn Fawn's Rainbow Ever After paper pad. I love this paper collection. This is maybe the 3rd or 4th project I've done with it, and I love it for spring photos. I just think it is so, so pretty. I am going to go for a high contrast title for today's. So I'm going to take that Lawn Fawn stitched die set, and I'm actually going to cut my title out in black. For my layout, I am using this striped paper about 2/3 of the way up a sheet of white cardstock. I am using the stripes technically are supposed to go the other way. So but I trimmed the branding strip off and flipped that paper 90 degrees because I wanted my stripes to go vertical, not horizontal. So I have 3 photos. I have turned my photos black and white because they are photos of me and my little munchkin when we took our first walk of the season. So we finally had a day that was warm enough to go for a walk. And this was Mr. Fitzy's first walk of the year of spring. But he has a bright, like primary color red leash. And I didn't want to do red, but it was like really prominent. So I turned these photos black and white so that his leash was not so prominently red, right? And I could scrapbook this layout and these photos with all these beautiful colors and a more pastel spring flowery kind of feel. I chose 3 pattern papers from the Rainbow Ever After collection, and I chose ones I just had scraps of, and I'm going to mat up my photos, so all 3 of my photos will be matted. So here is my layout design. I'm going to put the 3 photos in the top third of my layout, and it's going to almost touch the top of the page. Then I'm going to go ahead and take all of those beautiful stamped flowers, and I am going to go ahead and just fill them in right along the join between the white cardstock and the pattern paper. I'm going to add them underneath the photos and create a beautiful, just a whole cluster of these gorgeous pastel springtime flowers. I'm going to start by finding places for my big flowers. I just want to alternate the colors. So I have 4 different colors I stamped the flowers in, and I just want to add a couple more. I want to make sure like the purples aren't together, or the pinks aren't together, or the yellows aren't together. I think you can really see the contrast and definition and that little bit of interest that the pink and purple flowers in the video, but all of these color flowers have those kind of alterations in them, and I think that that turned out really, really nice. They gave it this like kind of watercolor feel without me having to do any watercoloring, so that was awesome. And look at those peachy flowers. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Once I have the big flowers in place where I want them, I'm going to go ahead and start filling in with the little buds and the little leaves. I am going to keep a couple of the flowers and leaves because I'm going to create a second little cluster in the bottom right corner of my page, and that's where we're going to put the title and some journaling. So the reason I am choosing, or I'm not sure if I have die cut the letters yet, I probably have, but the reason I am choosing black for my die cut letters is because I stamped the flowers in black, and I want it all to blend in together, so I need to have black in more than one place on the layout. For that bottom right section where I want to put my title, I am going to add some black splatter. This is Aqua Splash from Brutus Monroe in Raven. If you head down to the description box, you will find links to all of the available products that I used on my page today. You will also find a hop list with loads more inspiration using our theme this month. So May's theme is flowers or floral elements on our pages. And you will find the most gorgeous layouts. Just the ones I've seen so far are absolutely stunning. Jessica's is beautiful, so much flower inspiration. So down in the description box, you'll find a hop lineup. If you hop through all of the videos and leave a comment on each video, Jessica will choose a winner for a pretty nice gift certificate. And I think that she usually chooses the winner the Monday after the hop airs, I think. So get your comments in right away. Make sure you hop through all the videos, leave a little love to everybody, say hello to our design team. We have some seriously amazingly talented girls on the design team. I feel like I'm, if they were going to rank the creators or the crafty girls on our design team, I would probably be down in the bottom 3 for sure. Our design team always does so many stupendous, amazing projects. So now I'm going to work on my title. I started with some leaves. So these are the flowers that I kind of set aside that I knew I wanted to reinforce the floral motif and place them in the bottom right corner of my layout. And here are my letters that I die cut using that stitched die set from Lawn Fawn. That stitched die set is so good. I think it's out of stock right now, but it's so good. And my title is going to be Let's Go Mom, because this, like I said, these are photos of my pup, and he was just so happy as soon as I got his leash down. He was by the front door, he was whining, he was waiting, he was so ready to go. And he has been so happy that he can go, that it is warm enough that mommy can take him on walks again. So I needed to add that as my title. The letters that I used does not have a little comma to put up at the top. I'm sure that has a better word than that. So I'm going to draw it in later. So I know it needs a little comma thing at the top, and I'll pop that on. I popped it on with some pen. I'm going to use this journaling stamp from my stash. This has been in my stash forever. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who made it. I have no clue. I just know that if I'm going to put journaling onto a scrapbook layout, it's going to be with this stamp. As an aside, I did notice Chamel's new Reason to Smile collection has an amazing journaling stamp. And even though it is acrylic, which I hate, I'm gonna buy it and work with it because it's a journaling stamp and it looks really nice. The design of it is just so nice. Tucked my journaling spot into that bottom piece, and I grabbed some sequins from my stash, and I'm going to go ahead and add those beautiful sequin details all around the floral clusters. Once I have all of the sequins in place, I'm then going to come back in with my glossy accents, and I'm going to add little dots onto the flowers. What this does is it makes the flowers look dewy, or like they have those little dewdrops on them. And I love that, so I'm going to go ahead and just add those little dewdrops to all of the flowers. And here are all of the beautiful close-ups. Be sure to hop along, check out everybody's layout. If you're interested in any of the products that I used on my layout today, anything that is available will be linked up in the description box. Talk to you again soon. Bye.